empowerment millionaire capitalist who has coal mines. Her name is Bibliographien, and she's the wife of the Minister of the Presidency. And she has been very angry on these transfer pricing arrangements, and the reason is that the BEE capitalists, they don't have their shares or get their profits from the main company. They have their shares from the local subsidiaries. That's where they have the shares. And often they have no money when they start up. They borrow the money from the major companies, and then they buy the shares in the subsidiaries. And if it is like that the company is siphoning off money from the subsidiaries where the BEE capitalists have their shares, then they don't get the dividends of their profits. And the part of these dividends, or sometimes everything, I guess, is paid to pay back the loans to the company. So when it comes to Lonmin, you might know that the deputy president now, Cyril Ramaphosa, he bought in 2010, he borrowed 302 million US dollars, or 2.5 billion rand, to buy the majority of the shares of the BEE company in Twala Resources, which holds 80% of these two subsidiaries. And then, of course, he is supposed to pay back this loan to Lonmin with the dividends from the profits of these companies, who are the companies who are sort of paying taxes on that. So that is also one reason why he gets nervous and starts to send these emails, I guess, which he did in August, which compromised him. Because he was dependent on there was an arrangement, he was a shareholder in Lonmin. And that's why he spoke about it.
Sorry, BEE is
Black Economic Empowerment Company, BEE. So that is one of the major projects, and I'm sure that Tamara spoke about it yesterday, that this is a major project of the ANC government has been to build a black capitalist class, kind of like, to de-racialize South African capitalism, something like that. And in my view, this is one of the main sources of the disease of the ANC, or the problems of the ANC going down this policy. But at any rate, it's very important for them to build black shareholders in this company. So when this press conference was coming up, and Bibliographien had been calling Brian 2-3 months before, because we had something published about other things about transfer pricing, so then Brian called her. He hadn't taken her call because it was very sensitive to go in coalition with such a capitalist, you know. But now, when Lonmin was threatening us that we couldn't publish this report, then he invited her to the press conference. And then we knew that Lonmin would not interdict the press conference. so then we spoke like that. What shall I more say about this? One interesting thing is also the complicity of the auditing firm, which is in this case is Ernst & Young, one of the big five. You remember perhaps that Anderson went down in a black hole in 2008. That was the sixth of these big auditing companies. After that's a firm. It's a firm that isn't any longer. Ernst & Young have been the auditing firm of Lonmin, and so there was this thing that Lonmin claimed that the Bermuda connection was stopped after 2008, and after 2009 all the money was going to Lonmin management system as a sales commission. Now in a way it doesn't really matter, because they are still depleting the funds from here. It doesn't matter for the worker wages perspective, because the worker wages are paid from here. But it matters for tax reasons. Now the thing was that the financial statements of Western Platinum showed that they continued up into 2012. And it didn't stop. The Bermuda connection was not stopped in 2009. They said it's a history, it's a legacy, it's a history, but no, it continued in 2012. And then when you presented this to the director, the head of the Ernst & Young in South Africa, I had an email conversation with him. He just denied what he said. No, what Lonmin says here is correct, the answer. And then I attached the financial statements of Western Platinum from 2009 to but what is this? Then here you can see the transfer. There was no reply. So it's very important what the auditing firms, they are really complicit in these arrangements. And the main thing to remember, I think, this is Tamara who's made this small PowerPoint. Because we presented this for Parliament. It's very important. This is something, if you don't remember anything else from this presentation, you can remember this. So when they speak about tax evasion and South Africa as a whole, or Latin America is losing these taxes, you understand in pure primary school mathematics, you understand if you have a corporate taxation rate of 28%, and if you want to earn 28 million rand or something like that, or 28 billion rand, well then you have to move 100 million rand out of the country, isn't it? Because 28% of 100 million is 28 million. And this has this arithmetical truth has major implication, I think, for how we look upon the problem of transfer pricing and illicit financial flows. Because the states and the governments, they are not the main losers of these arrangements. The main loser of these arrangements are the workers employed in these companies, and perhaps the communities, because monies are taken away. If they are not moving the money out of the country, well, then perhaps they will invest it in the country to do different things. Or it would still be on the wage bargaining table. And that is what we are doing quite a lot the last year now at AIDC, that is to help trade union to. So now we are asking in the gold sector negotiations, in the platinum negotiation, can we please see the financial statements of all your subsidies? And the companies, of course, always refuse. Because we want to see the transfer pricing arrangement there and what they are taking off from the wage bargaining table. At the corporate tax rate, and that is the blind, the blind spot of the NGOs who are campaigning against illicit financial flows. They always only speak about what the government loses. They don't speak about what the workers are losing in these companies. And it is more. By the laws of arithmetic, it is more. By the laws of arithmetic, it is more. So that is what I would like you to remember now. So every time you go to a tax evasion seminar, you can raise your hand like that and say, isn't it that the workers are losing more than the governments for this arrangement? Because that is true. What shall I say more about this? Oh, that is enough now.
Thank you very much.